Hi, my name is Dallas. I grew up in Miller. I have 5 siblings. Work at King Bean Coffee Roasters now, and I like hiking and doing anything outside. I grew up in a Christian family. Always went to church ever since I was itty bitty. Worked at a Christian camp. When I was 13, I got baptized, but it was for all the wrong reasons. I did it so just no one would bother me about it, and I wouldn't have to worry about it. And it's just one of those things. I had to do it because that's what everybody else was doing. Around when I moved out, I was 17 years old, moved to Mount Vernon, and I stopped going to church, and I realized I didn't really actually believe any of it, or if I did, I didn't think that God loved me because of who I was. A couple years ago, I came to Kingsway for the first time. There's, something that intrigued me about what some people had. There is not necessarily like their lives were perfect or they were so happy, but they were just happy. They were just at peace. Trevor was preaching a sermon. I don't really remember what it was on. I think it was on love. And I saw him at King Bean a couple days later and asked him about it and kind of started talking. We met up, ended up meeting up for coffee a couple times and throughout, the next 2 years, and just talking. Because when I first started meeting with him, I was ready to give up. I was done. I was done living. I didn't want it anymore. It was too hard. I felt like, everybody would be sad, sure, but they would be better off without me in the end. And, we talked about it for a while, and I went back and forth. I came to church a couple times and went from that to just being like, no, I don't want to anymore. Pretty stubborn person. I've always just thought like God can't love me. There's no way. If I can just be good enough, then I can be a Christian. Then I can come and do the things and be the good person. But I have to get to a certain point first to even be lovable at all. I kind of came to a realization eventually that if God didn't love me, then why would He give me all of these people in my life to help me and to encourage me and love on me and not let me give up. I'll never be perfect, and I'll never be what anybody wants me to be or, what I want to be. That's kind of what the opportunity is, and it's just having the opportunity to be loved and to get to love everybody else. I want everyone to know that Jesus is the Lord of my life.
Well, I am here with Dallas this morning, and I have gotten kind of the privilege to play a small part in what's been a much bigger process in your life of coming to this point today. And as we've been getting the chances to meet together for the last couple months, kind of doing Bible study way too early in the morning, and just talking through lots of different things. But one thing I've really appreciated about Dallas from the very beginning is she's been real, and there's been some doubts, there's been some tensions, there's been some different things, and that's kind of where a lot of our relationship has started, is not trying to run from that, but try to explore that. And I think through that, as she kind of said in the video, through that there's been one thing that's kind of come to the surface, and that's there's still some questions, and there's still some doubts, but Jesus has kind of come to a sense of prominence where she wants to make this decision today. And I appreciated when we were talking just earlier this week, she said, I realize I don't have to have it all together. I realize I don't have to make myself perfect, make myself lovable. That I just need to make this decision and bring myself to Jesus. And when it comes to making this decision of baptism, she flat out said in our time together that one of those reasons is accountability. She makes this decision today before you, the church body, and because she wants you to encourage her. She wants you to hold her accountable to living a life that's not defined by her past or by sin, but by the freedom and the hope that is in Jesus. And so this morning, I want to ask you 3 questions. Do you believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God?
Yes.
And do you believe that He died on the cross for your sins and He rose again so that you will not be defined by sin, but have freedom and hope in Him?
Yes.
And do you want to make Him the leader of your life and pursue Him?
Yes. With
that, I baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you.